We're gonna make a dish called COQ or coq au vin. Basically, it translates to chicken and wine sauce, but we're gonna do it a little different. So this dish is definitely one that you usually make inside using your oven, but I'm a little different. So I'm gonna try to make it on the Recteq and outside. So I have all my ingredients here. Okay, got some bacon, mushrooms, onion. We had already put our chicken thighs in our wine to let marinate for, it's only about 30 minutes or so. And we got our Dutch oven. So now, let's get to cooking. Alright, so the first thing we're gonna do, put a little olive oil in the pan. Once that gets nice and hot, we will put our bacon in. Alright, you want your oil nice and hot so that you crisp up your bacon. You want it nice and crispy. So you're gonna cook this until you get some nice crispy bits, probably about 8 to 10 minutes. Alright, now that they're nice and crispy, we're gonna remove them, put them on a plate. Now we're gonna take our chicken, we're gonna brown our chicken. Now we're just browning the chicken, okay? We're not cooking it all the way through. We're going to just do a couple at a time too, because you don't want to get overcrowded. Alright, so we put our chicken on a plate. Now we're going to add in our onions and our carrots. And we're going to cook these for probably about 10 minutes or so over medium heat. Alright, you can also add your little salt and pepper. Alright, while that's cooking, let's talk about the wine you want to use for this recipe, okay? You don't want a crappy bottle. You want a wine that's like cheap enough to buy, that you're not going to spend a lot of money on, but good enough to drink. I do like the Woodbridge. It's a Cabernet Sauvignon. It's really good. It was like $8. So it does have to be expensive, but it does taste good. Okay. When you marinate your chicken, when you put your chicken in the Dutch oven, don't get rid of this juice. We're going to use this in just a minute. All right. After about 10 minutes or so, you're going to take roughly about 2 cloves of garlic. This is minced garlic, obviously. Add it. Cook it for another minute or so. Let it get fragrant. Take your brandy. Pour it in there. What that's going to do is going to help deglaze the bottom. Now, we add our chicken and our bacon back in. All the wonderful juices that just happen to go in there. Now we take our bag of wine juice. We want about a cup and a half of wine. There's about 1 cup of wine in that marinade. Add another half. Got our chicken stock. Right here from the same chickens that made those thighs. I made that chicken stock right here on the farm. I have thyme leaves because my thyme plant died. So just gonna sprinkle what I would think would be about a couple sprigs. Do that. We're gonna bring it to a Okay, now we just put it on the grill. So we put the gloves on because it was hot, and obviously you can use pot holders. I mean, but I have welding gloves because why not, right? It makes you manly. So we're gonna let it cook for about 55 minutes. The longer you cook it, the deeper, thicker the broth will get, and obviously I definitely want to make sure that the chicken's cooked and everything. I'm not worried about it. I think it's gonna come out awesome. Definitely a different way of doing this. So after 55 minutes, what we're gonna do, add some melted butter. We're gonna take the top off, okay? We'll take the top off. I'm gonna get my thermometer right here. I'm gonna check and see what kind of temperature we got on the chicken. About 194, good stuff, good stuff. So what this butter is going to do is going to help thicken up the broth on it, along with flour. Stir that in there. I'm going to leave the top off, cook it for about 10 more minutes like this, okay? That's gonna allow it to thicken up, also kind of just get even darker. Maybe we'll get some smoky flavor to it, I don't know. But also, one last thing we need to add, our mushrooms. Almost forgot. That's the dog. Stop. Excuse the dog. Okay, I just took it inside. It's just gonna sit for a minute while my wife is in there making mashed potatoes. She's not inclined to being on camera, which is fine, but we're going to serve it over mashed potatoes. As soon as we get completely ready, I'll show you the finished product and we'll taste it, because I've never had this before. So not only have I never had it before, it's the first time I've made it, and I didn't make it like you usually make it in an oven. I did it on the grill and outside. There's nothing better than cooking outside. Do you agree? I agree. Okay, it's time to taste it with the mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes, some of the chicken. Stick it. Oh, come. A little hot still. Oh, that's delicious. Delicious. Well, the recipe and some notes will be in the description. I appreciate you hanging out with us.